Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And for some damn reason, we're going to talk about Disney Star Wars. We're going to talk about Oscar Isaac saying that he wasn't so open to working with Disney after the Jimmy Kimmel suspension. But if Disney doesn't become full fascists, he would be open to maybe coming back.
Yeah, so I think he's going his press tour for Frankenstein, which I kind of want to see, by the way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I want to see that. But in among the comments, yeah, he said that he'd be on board Disney as long as they don't succumb to fascism over the Jimmy Kimmel thing, because they keep running with this narrative that it was fascism. And I'm trying to figure out how it was fascism, because, you know, they said things they shouldn't have said. The advertisers got mad and pulled.
Yes,
Disney
the advertisers got mad.
Disney panicked and they pulled, well, suspended it temporarily. They didn't cancel it completely. And I mean, we said at the time that we thought Disney's reaction was an overreaction. So, you know, the advertisers were the ones who pulled, and the people that carried the network were the ones that pulled initially. And then Disney's response, because anything money or bad PR is like kryptonite. Oh, yeah. So, you know, they then suspended the show temporarily, and everybody was mad about it, and they all were demanding to turn it back on. And I mean, at the time, we even said, you know, what he said was shit, but, you know, Disney's reaction was an overreaction. And they turned it back on, but now there's this narrative that it's because Disney sided with fascists because of the FCC license. And I'm like, look, you know what they said? He said was shit, and his apology was dog shit. But you know, they turned it back on. It's been resolved, and then now he's still going on that I'll come back to Disney, but only if they promise basically never to do that again. And it's
oh my God.
And I think Disney was looking for an excuse to get rid of Kimmel anyway.
Yeah, that's the theory. People are like, you know, his ratings aren't great. He costs a lot, and late night TV is winding down. It definitely is. But let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, guys. Yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
You still have a little bit of time yet if you want to back Geeky's Kickstarter. We're going to close out here once we basically run out of pins. So if you go out to Kickstarter and back Geeky Sparkles, Christmas Party Glitter Retro Enamel pins, you know, we're going to leave that open for a little bit yet. I know some people wanted to add to their campaign, but as I understand it with Kickstarter, once the campaign closes out, you can't do that anymore. So, we've had some people write us. We'll see if we can figure another solution out if you want that geeky pin. Okay. Yep. All right. So this is coming from Variety. Oscar Isaac was not so open to working with Disney after Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, said he'd return to Star Wars if Disney does not succumb to fascism.
Gosh, I wish these people would learn the definition of fascism.
Why would they? Yeah, I know, right? This is just like so... I don't even understand why they're still entertaining the idea of going back to the sequel trilogy when it's obvious that is what destroyed Star Wars.
Well, I don't know if they actually said they were going to bring him back for anything. I think they just asked basically, you know, would you come back? And he says no.
So
well, he said if they yes, he'd be open as long as they didn't have fascism.
Yeah, like look, I like Oscar Isaac as an actor. But like so many people in Hollywood, I like to watch their performances. I don't like to watch them be performative. Mm-hmm. You know, in these interviews and you know, do all the politics and get the fist bumps and the whole.
According to these people, and like literally anybody right or far left is a fascist.
Yeah.
So I mean, what does it even? When I say what does it mean? I mean, what does it even mean anymore? Because basically anybody who doesn't agree with me is a fascist or Hitler or something stupid. So it's not even, they're not even using the true meanings of the words anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't know. It's basically, I don't like your politics, therefore you're a Nazi. And this has been going on for at least 10 years now, and it's gotten so much worse since Trump came back. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised when he first got reelected that they weren't all losing their shit except for Mark Hamill. Maybe it's just a Star Wars thing, right? But they weren't all losing their shit. And then, like, within a couple of months, I think once the shock wore off, oh my God, he's back. How? Somehow Trump has returned.
Yes, here they come.
Somehow Trump has returned. And then now then they got Blue Sky and they're just like letting it all hang out, right? But yeah, so he told Variety in August before the world premiere of Frankenstein at the Venice Film Festival he was more than open to returning as Poe Dameron in a Star Wars movie. Well, they have the Rey movie coming up, which I still don't understand why.
I don't even know if they're going to do it. Every time I turn around, it's like getting pushed back or something else. I'll believe it when I see it kind of situation.
But returning to the Disney-owned franchise got a little more complicated for Isaac just a few weeks later when Disney-owned ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air over comments he made about the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. Again, you need to clarify the reason they did that was that the advertisers and the stations basically canceled Jimmy Kimmel, and Disney capitulated to that. But they, if the advertisers hadn't threatened
the FCC, and it's like, well, I guess the guy did make some comments about the FCC should investigate it. But nothing ever came of it. They never, the station said they never got a call from them. They never got any kind of, any communication from the FCC at all. They chose it on their own.
In a new interview, yeah, I know, right? A new interview with GQ magazine. Of course, it's GQ. This is the same GQ that interviewed Sydney Sweeney and tried to get her to recant her Nazism over that stupid jeans ad that they made into a big ass deal, which wasn't a big ass deal. That's what you need to have, big ass jeans.
Big ass
big girls and big ass jeans.
Yeah. Wait. Say that whole thing again. That's why I need to have.
No,
they need you're right.
They need to have big ass brand jeans. Big ass with like little dollar signs and like glitter, like, my ass is big. Deal with it. And then that's you can do a whole marketing campaign.
I want mine to be like big bunny jeans or something like that.
Big bunny jeans?
Yes, kind of like bunnies, and their little cheeks look like butt cheeks, and it's like the Playboy bunny, but for fat women. So, no, I just like bunnies.
Chubby bunny. Wasn't that a challenge with the kids eating the marshmallows or something? The chubby bunny challenge?
I have no idea.
Chubby bunnies. There you go.
This is neither here nor there. So let's just talk about what we need to talk about.
All right. In a new interview with GQ, Isaac was asked about returning to Star Wars and had this new clarification to add. Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it, although right now I'm not so open to working with Disney. But if they can figure it out and, not succumb to fascism, that'd be great. If that happens, then yeah, I'd be open to having a conversation about a galaxy far away or any number of other things. As long as they're not fascists, I'm like, well, it's going to be really interesting to see what some of these people do or say once that Disney park opens in Dubai. Because they're flipping out about the Saudis buying into video game companies. Now there's talk that the Saudis might buy into Warner Brothers, and that there's like a $70 billion all cash offer on the table for Warner Brothers. And suddenly Tim Drake will be straight again.
Yes, I know, right? But, it's just funny to me because it's like there's been actual instances. You see, if Disney's fascist, and so are a bunch of places in Hollywood that have done similar things on the opposite side, but it never works in reverse. It only works one way. But this is really stupid. You're out there doing a press tour for Frankenstein, and you just basically said anybody who thought that, it was right to cancel Jimmy Kimmel for saying something stupid is a fascist. That's basically what you just said. It probably would be best not to open your mouth. I don't know. These people just don't think.
Well, it's probably, again, it's GQ, so they're probably like, well, I'm reading the room, and GQ wants to hear all the anti-Trump stuff, so I'm going to signal. And it's not going to go well because I guarantee you there are people in Hollywood right now that are taking notes about. We're going to talk later about Paramount and what's going on with the animation. And I guarantee you, if he thinks he can jump from like Disney to Paramount and be like, yeah, as long as they're not fascist, well, the Ellisons who run Paramount are now Trump's besties. So it's going to get harder and harder, I think, for a lot of these people to find
anybody who doesn't align with them politically the entire way to the extreme that they think they should be aligned with is a fascist, according to these people.
Or you could do what people have done for decades, where you basically do your job, get your paycheck, and then on your personal time, you can go out there and do an activism if you want to.
I know, but this is really dumb. Like you're doing a press tour and for a movie that you just now wouldn't shut your mouth off.
You've just made it political. You've just made it political. Yeah. So, they're talking about in his September 15th monologue, shortly after Kirk's suspected killer was arrested, Kimmel quipped, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang trying to characterize this kid who killed Kirk as anything other than one of them." The line got the late night host suspended. Wasn't that okay? That's an oversimplification. Again, anybody who actually looks into it, the media keeps running with it like, well, Disney just decided to push the button and cancel. No, what happened was the advertisers and the station owners complained, and they put the pressure on Disney, and then Disney, suspended him because they're like, we don't know what else to do.
And the only reason they unsuspended him is because Hollywood was having a shit fit. And people were,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think people were canceling their subscriptions in enough numbers to warrant that. But I think they were conflating the canceling of the announcement of price hikes, which was going on around the same time, as the reason. But either way, it's just that they were strong armed into hiring back. I think they were just looking for a reason, and that gave them one.
Yeah.
And then they had to walk it back. That's my opinion.
Well, what's funny though is he's talking about. I remember this. I remember this a couple of years ago. He basically said the only way he'd return to Star Wars is if he needed another house or something. But he's not wrong. So I guess Moon Knight's off the table then too, right? We're not doing any more Moon Knight.
Well, I don't know. At this point in time, I wouldn't work with him. He's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, he said he'd go back to Star Wars. This is in 2020. He'd go back to Star Wars if he needed another house. Isaac admitted to GQ perhaps he should not have made such an opinion public, explaining, yeah, that was a real likable quote. You know, people ask you things, you say stuff, you don't really think about it that much. I said a slightly dickish thing.
Oh, wait. No, I think that was very dickish personally, because it's like, maybe if I need another house. That's kind of really douchey, dude. Slightly dickish. I
am very surprised that he actually got the role of Moon Knight, given that, you know, he's making that comment, because it's basically like, I don't give a shit about this movie, but if I need another paycheck. I mean, look, Harrison Ford, same situation with Star Wars, right? He hates Star Wars. He said multiple times he hates Star Wars. I'm sure the paycheck was pretty damn fat to get him to come back. And they promised him they'd kill off Han Solo. Spoiler, they kill off Han Solo. But, you know, they could always bring him back or something. Bring him back.
I don't know. I'm just like, obviously they didn't care about the fans on that one. But it was a slightly, I love it when, okay, so you just got done saying anybody who thought that what Jimmy Kimmel said was wrong is a fascist. And then you were saying about the comment about the house was a slightly dickish thing.
Slightly dickish. Yeah, that was a dickish thing. But, you know, but look, these actors, this is the thing. Back in the day, there used to be handlers at the studios that would make sure that their stars, since their stars were company assets, basically, that their stars would kind of be on a tight leash and they wouldn't say anything stupid when they go on, you know, the press tour, right? They were coached on, and it was restrictive, but there's a reason why they did that.
They knew that people don't need to know about their personal opinions or politics or things like that. They knew that. Now that's all they want to talk about.
I mean, could you imagine? Cary Grant thinks you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
Betty Davis thinks you're a chud. I mean,
oh, that's funny. She's
like,
looking at
you
you
basement dwelling neckbeards. It's like, I mean, at least some of the actors, like, I mean, they were very blunt about what they thought about people. That, you know, Orson Welles, I think, was very blunt. But, like, you know, these people didn't get work. If you were difficult and you attacked the customer, you didn't get work for years. They're like, yeah, we can't let you off the leash.
You attacked the company too. Hell no.
You attacked the company. Yeah, they had studio fixers. They were like, you, again, Hail Caesar, damn good movie. Watch it, highly recommend it. But they had guys that basically would keep these stars in line, because they're like, yeah, if you cause a scene or you have a scandal or something, you're going to cost us money. And that was back then. And now it's even worse, right? I mean, it's like you can say one thing and you can just hear the money being bled out of the bank account. Like, shit, they just called everybody Nazis. There goes half our money this weekend. So you're better off just being like, yes, I do like Star Wars movies very much, sir. And I love America. Next question, please.
Yeah.
I sure do love America. Yeehaw.
No, you can't say that either, because now you just alienated the global audience.
Now New York and Portland hate you.
What was his name that plays, that was Anthony Mackie. He was like Italy or whatever, and he kind of bashed America.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. These people just need to stop talking. But anyway, there you go. Oscar Isaac's not going to come back to Disney unless they renounce fascism. Because, you know, they pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air over advertiser complaints, and I can't with these people.
Somehow Hitler returned. And it's you.
That's right.
You, the audience. You going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.